Today we're going to have a quick look at some hot water units in your caravan. A lot of people like having hot water on demand, easier to do dishes, easier to have a shower. You're not always at a caravan park that's got a nice pristine shower block. Once you start understanding the different hot water systems, it's very easy to tell from the outside. I know that looking at this, it's a 28 litre stainless steel tank. So it takes a little while to go from cold to hot. The only real maintenance you've got to do out here is if you undo the screws, it's to getting rid of the cobwebs. Because you haven't used your van for a while, the spiders have nested in there. You fire it up on gas, you're going to make some angry spiders and they're going to run out. In this one, they're probably going to run into the back of your fridge, which is not a good spot because then you're going to have your fridge running. They do run on gas or 240 volt. One or the other power supply will take you about 28 minutes to go from cold to hot. If you run them both at the same time, you're down to about 20 minutes. But of course, you're burning gas as well as 240 power, which is great if you're at a caravan park and as long as you got gas. What we'll do now is we'll jump from here into the inside and I'll show you the control switches for it. But yeah, if you've got that model, you don't have to do any maintenance to it basically because it's stainless steel. So in a Supreme or Leader, we mount everything in the one control box basically. All we suggest you do with if you've got a tank hot water system, if you're off grid, you'll turn your pump on and you run the hot tap. You might purge any air out of your system. It's a good excuse to wash your hands. You've just taken it off the car, you're a bit dusty, you've pulled your step out. You rinse your hands under the hot side and it won't be hot. Once you've got a water flow, you can turn on either your 240 volt hot water or your gas hot water. It's as easy as that. As we indicated outside, if you run both, it's about 20 minutes before it goes from cold to hot. One or the other is about 28. This lovely little red light, if it keeps flashing at me, it tells me it hasn't lit on gas. So it's flashing, it's flashing, it's flashing. It's probably because we've got the gas bottle shut. So if you're free camping, you'll need your pump on, run the tap, wash your hands, turn on gas. You do this when you get to camp, you know in half an hour you've got hot water to wash your teacup or whatever's going on. At a caravan park, you'll leave the pump off, still run the tap, and then turn on your 240. Same reasoning, in half an hour you can wash the dishes, you can have a shower, you can do what you need to do. They are a 28 litre tank though, and your van will draw about 5 litres a minute. So a quick easy math means you're not standing in the shower for 20 minutes. The idea is to get wet, turn the taps off, sut up, get the shampoo in your hair. Once you've scrubbed all your pits and bits, then you rinse off. Then you come out, get changed, 20 minutes later or thereabouts, the next person can roll through your shower. So it's important to know where your switches are in your caravan. And when you travel, make sure you turn them off. Because once we've had this system hot for half hour or so, it's 28 litres, it's a sealed tank, it's got to dribble out a little bit. So if you see it dribbling out in your driveway, you know you've left it on. At a caravan park, you won't care because you're using it every hour or so. So they're the switches for your tank style system. Now we'll go show you something else. Another popular style of hot water unit on the market today is the on-demand unit. Some people call them instant, but then they think as soon as they run the tap, they've got hot water instantly. It's on demand. It's got to get stuff hot still. This one is a bit easier to access in here because there is a little 12 volt igniter switch in there. If the 12 volt igniter switch is off, it won't light on gas. If the gas isn't on, it won't light on gas, and if the water's not flowing, it won't light on gas. But fundamentally, you don't need to get into this panel unless you're storing up for a long time and you want to turn the igniter off. Same thing though, if you see the cobwebs coming out, give it a clean out. Now the benefit of a gas on-demand hot water system is it'll be hot nearly instantly when you run the tap. You're not using power to heat up a tank and keep it hot all day. The downfall of the system is you can use a lot of water when you're having a shower. Because you could be off free camping, you've got plenty of gas, you've got 2 full tanks of water, but again, you're using 5 litres of water a minute, so if you stand in the shower for half an hour, you've just about burnt through your water. And then all of a sudden you go, well, I've run out of drinking water because I had too long a shower. So you've got to be conscious of how much water you've got and how much you're using. The control panel for this is a little bit different, so we'll jump inside now and show you what that looks like. In a Goldstream, you'll find a unit like this, which is your hot water control panel. We've already turned the pump on. If we run the hot tap, which is again a good idea when you get somewhere, just wash your hands, you'll see the system lights up. It reads the temperature at the unit. The gas flame indicates that it's lighting. Water indicates there's water coming through. So all of a sudden we're already up to 43, 44, 45, 46, we can all count. And it's getting bloody hot in there. The catch is, depending on where your unit is mounted compared to your shower, there's always a time lag. And if I back the pressure off, we'll get hotter faster because it's the cold water's rushing past the heating elements, which makes it hot. So there's always a sweet spot where the pressure's not awesome, or the pressure's not at maximum, but your temperature's awesome. So you just back it off a bit, you'll get a bit warmer. Again, the lighting just indicates that the 12 volt part of it, the igniter, is ready to go. If you ever see it's a E come up on the error screen, it's normally that you haven't opened your gas bottles and it's got no gas to light, and you'll still be running water through your taps. Generally, when we have a van leave, we will set the maximum up to its maximum because we assume most people can spin the tap to cold if they want to cold it off a bit. But you can drop that temperature down if the grandkids or whoever are about to have a shower, so there's no chance of them burning themselves. Again, the downfall is, if I'm running 5 litres of water per minute through my system and I've got 200 litres on board, that's 40 minutes for all of my water to be run through the shower, which means, hang on, I can't stand in there all day washing my hair, having a shave. It's still got to be quick and ready to go. But at least you've got on demand at a caravan park, for example, when you're hooked up to mains, you can stand there for as long as you got gas, which could be your thing. So have a think about which system suits you guys better when you're choosing your van, or if you're looking at a van, you can tell from the inside or you can tell from the outside which system is on board. So if you're thinking of building a caravan, because you know what bits and pieces you like in it and the layout and the colours, etc., have a think about your hot water. Because you might be able to move where it goes, you might be able to shift it to the bathroom so it's closer to where you're going to use the biggest volume of water. Have a think about, do I want on demand so it's hot when I need it, but I don't have 240 volt option on it? Am I happy with a 28 litre tank because it'll be hot all day and I'm just using 240 volt power because I go to a caravan park more often? Maybe think about how long you like to stand in the shower, how long you wash your hair, but do the math on how big a tank am I going to have, how long can I physically have a shower for anyway. It's one of the little things that people forget about and then they want to change. If you've used a tank system before and you want to upgrade, yes, it can be done, but there's a fair cost involved. If you've got an older van, you may or may not be able to upgrade your system, and we can tell from the outside if it's an older style system, like a Suburban or a, I can't remember the other ones now, we don't see them very often. There's a very small 14 litre Truma Ultra Rapid, for example. So there are a number of different older systems, but it's worth having a little bit of a think, and if you're not sure, have a chat to someone like us and we'll go through the process. How many of you are in the van? How long do you like to spend in the shower? Which system do you think will suit? Because on demand, yes, it's great, but you've only got gas option. The tank system, you've got the 240 or the gas, but it's worth thinking about because we want to get your van right when you, especially if you build one, so that you're happy when you leave, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that. So it's always worth thinking about, much like the fridges and things like that, and it's not a big appliance that people generally have on the top of their mind, but it's something to consider. If you've got other appliances you want us to have a bit of a chat about, shoot us a question or a comment and we can chat about picnic tables, outside stereos, lights. We've got a whole range of things that we do differently in vans that we can talk to you about so you can make your choice better and easier when you select your van. I think we're just about done, aren't we, Tom? Excellent. Time to go camping.